How was your travel?
Yeah, it was okay. There was a little bit of traffic on the roads, but I've made it here.
Well, that's good. I'm glad.
Thank you.
So what are we here to speak about today?
Well, I'm a few weeks away from undertaking my final professional experience placement at uni, and I'm just a little bit stressed out about some of the aspects of it that may, make it not as good as I would want it to be.
Right. Can you tell me anything else about it at the moment?
Well, I'm a little bit uncertain about going into an unfamiliar school or an environment that I'm not completely familiar with.
Comfortable in, yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling a bit of trepidation with around meeting new people and having to go into a staff room and especially around my behaviour management sometimes. Yeah, I feel like that if I go into a difficult kind of school, that could become an issue for me.
So are you primary or high school?
I'm
what
high
age
school.
kids? High school.
High school kids, yeah.
So you're feeling a little bit unsure about how you deal with that in
Yeah.
your next prac.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially around some of the more difficult behaviours that I could face, not so much just students back talking, but more severe behaviours.
So what kinds of behaviours would these be?
Behaviours like in an outdoors PE lesson, students leaving the class group where I'm able to actively supervise them and just wandering off and not being able to come back, and not being able to then watch that student and be able to have them in my care while they're in the class, or students being really unsafe with some of the equipment and the way they play certain games and do that.
And I can see how that would be concerning if you're in PE.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes. It's got me quite concerned about how I would deal with those behaviours.
So I'm guessing today we're going to talk more about those behaviours. Is that what you are most concerned about, or are you concerned about dealing with other people on your prac as well?
I'm a little bit concerned about dealing with other people, because I feel like not being comfortable in the environment at first could, flow on to me not dealing with those behaviours as effectively, because I may not, have enough confidence in my environment to be able to execute some strategies that could help to solve those behaviours.
So with your behaviour management now,
Yep.
what do you think you do well? What do you feel comfortable in managing?
I feel quite comfortable managing most behaviours inside of a classroom.
Yep.
Where students have, their assigned areas where they can sit at their desk, and behaviours generally just are back talking, not doing work, not participating, and those kind of things. There's not generally indoors a safety element unless there's a very, very severe behaviour, but that would be very rare. So I'm quite comfortable managing that, and I can go through all of my pre-planned behaviour management strategies because I have whiteboards and visual aids that students can be able to see.
Yep.
But outdoors is my concern, because I don't have any visual aids for students then.
Right, so you were worried about children leaving your area, and you were worried about them not knowing what their expectations are,
Yeah.
what their boundaries are.
Yeah, and not knowing what their boundaries are, and sometimes, thinking they might be able to push those boundaries because we're in a different environment to what would be normal.
Mm-hmm. So can you think of are there any other behaviour management related problems? Are there aspects of it other than our issue of there not being an enclosed space that you want to work towards fixing?
I'd like to become a little bit harder on students when they use their equipment in PE outdoors, because that can pose a real safety threat for the other students in the class when, I'm trying to give instructions and, attention
Yeah.
is placed onto me, and there's a student not engaged in class, disengaged out the back playing with a football and kicking it around where he could hit other students, or with some of the other equipment, like if we're doing shot put or something, playing with shot puts, that could cause a serious injury.
So you're worried about safety.
Yes.
Okay. So would you say that you were worried about safety mostly because both of these issues are safety?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would say that would be
And you'd
accurate.
like to work towards maybe finding some ways that we can better
Yeah.
your responses to those?
Yes,
Yes?
yes.
Okay, so what about our interactions with our colleagues on prac? What do you think you do well there?
I think I'm friendly and outgoing when I'm on prac. I just get a little bit overwhelmed sometimes, so I have to meet lots of new people and sort of understand how dynamics of staff rooms or teaching teams work, and I struggle to find out where I fit in that sort of place, like whether they're comfortable with me going to any of them for help.
I guess it's hard going into a new workplace.
Yeah,
That's basically what you're doing, yeah.
yeah, it's quite difficult for the first period of time, and sometimes I think that negatively affects my confidence, which in turn doesn't help with the way I deal with stuff. That's unfortunate.
So you think that coming into a professional environment that you are not regularly involved with
Yeah.
can be scary and intimidating?
Yes,
Yeah?
yes,
Definitely.
yes.
hmm So what do you think is a few areas that you might want to improve on throughout our sessions?
I'd like to improve on sort of not being so overwhelmed in the environment, sort of being able to be more open to everyone, and feel free to not be intimidated by anyone, and sort of go and ask for help when I require it, not think that, they'll think I don't know anything when I do that. That would be a real thing of mine, because I think that would be able to help me feel confident in more situations.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So, throughout our sessions, maybe we will work on the behaviour management. We will work on dealing with children who want to get out of the lessons and escape that and run away, leave the area. And we will work on how we put our boundaries and expectations in place.
Yes.
Which I think will help the other
Yes.
part.
Yes, I think
yes.
that would be very helpful, those ideas.
And then with the colleagues, we will work on not feeling so overwhelmed, because that is important. You need to feel comfortable when you're on prac. And we'll work on strategies to be asking when you need help and when you need to have that support. Because when you're on prac, they're there to teach you
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
I think we did well today.
Thank you. I think I made great progress today.
Good job.